people? Talk the Tings, episode 5. I'm with my guy, Trey The Jeweller.
You good?
God damn. So we went for something a little bit different on this episode. I went for a business entrepreneur slash jeweler for this one. Something special for the 5th episode, because 5 is my lucky number. Everybody likes the number 5 still. So yeah, what better way to have...
Yeah, man, thank you for having me, bro.
No problem, anytime. So with this one, I want to start off, we'll start off back in time before you started the jewellery and everything like that. So when I first met you, we was playing basketball as kids.
Way back.
Way back. Back in flipping Mandela days and Tigers days and things like that. So like, what made you first get into basketball? We'll go from there first.
Let me think. I remember being at my auntie's house in, I think it's Michigan, Detroit, and like, she bought me like a little like basketball hoop, one of them little tight ones that everyone's back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think one of the family members was pregnant. Like, he ran over to her going like, basketball, like assuming that she had a basketball in her belly. And it was like one of them sports that I would just played from like being a baby. And then I first started out with Coach Q. Like hoops down at Round Day.
Shout out Quincy.
Shout out Coach Q, man. And then I kind of just like fell in love with it from then, and just obviously took it. Obviously, it wasn't as serious in the beginning. It was what I played for fun. I didn't like football. I didn't like the cold. Obviously, indoor, it's calm. But and then as I got older, I started getting a bit better and developing. That's when I started to take it obviously more serious, and then it kind of went from there, man.
Sick. So I remember like when you used to play, you was the shooter of the squad every single time. I used to hate guarding you, because even though you're small, like, you was fast, and as soon as you was open, nets. Nothing but net. Every single time. And I was so annoyed, because when we was at Mandela especially, and Coach Q came down, always on my ass. Make sure you get Trey. Don't leave him open. Why are you leaving him open? And then you just splash, and I'm like, for fuck's sake. Not again.
it's one of them though, like being my height and playing a big man sport, even like 6 foot 6'1's classed as short nowadays.
Exactly.
My height, bro, if you're open, you have to be able to knock it down, regardless where you're from.
Exactly.
So that's why you have to be able to get open. You gotta make it count.
Exactly.
But that's like one of the first things Q told me, like as my first coach, like. Being your height, you gotta be able to shoot. You gotta be able to knock it down. If you're open, it's guaranteed. Net. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it had to be.
Sick. So what teams did you play for when you was growing up?
Well, I started with Q, and then I remember Paul Hartley came to one of Q sessions, and then
he was at
brought me over.
Lee's uni was it, or Lee's met at
Carnegie. Back then. And then he kind of took me over to Carnegie, and then I went through all my juniors through Carnegie from like, I must have been like 12, 13, through to about like 17, 18. And then I was at college and all that afterwards.
What college did you go to?
I was at Southern Maine Community College.
Okay, whereabouts is that?
Maine is near Boston.
Okay.
So it's like, it's East Coast.
Yeah.
It was like the closest state to Canada.
So you went to America?
Yeah. But obviously,
it's
like with like leading through my juniors through Carnegie, I met a coach called Greg at Menwithhill, US Army base in Harrogate. Because one of my best friends, his parents were in the US Army. So I was there all the time. He was just playing ball with them guys, the soldiers and whatnot. And then he was the high school coach on base. And he was like, you should think about playing AAU, which is like travel basketball in America, obviously, because they play through high school and then through summer. And back then I didn't really know what it was. And then for the kids who were in high school, whose parents were in the US Army, there was a coach over in Germany who she coached the AAU team for all the US Army kids. So he was like, I can get in contact with her. And maybe you could like go to Germany for a tryout or whatever. So I sent tapes over, and then she called me over to fly over to Germany for a tryout, because she was stationed in Germany. So I went over there. I think it was like a week's worth of like training camp, and then a couple of weeks after that, she was like, "Yeah, you was put on the team." Obviously, I was 14, 15 years old. I was like the dream of playing in America was starting to come true.
Yeah.
Like, you see it all on TV, these kids in the States, and it's like, it's crazy. I mean, you've seen it yourself.
Yeah.
And then I would go back and forth for like 2 weeks at a time, because obviously there's only so much you can get in with kids being based all over before you obviously go play in the tournaments. And then I think the first summer I played I was like 15, 16. So you just travel like we did.
Yeah.
We had tournaments in Florida, and then we went over to Vegas. We played in the World Sports Festival in Austria.
Yeah.
But the maddest thing is, because it was an American team, you had all the American teams, whether it was football, basketball, hockey. You'd walk out to their national anthem. So I'm with an American team now, being English, walking out to their national anthem. It was mad, bro, but it's them kind of experiences you can't.
Yeah, exactly.
You already got,
get back again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's sick. So, when did you come back from like America? And
so I went. When did I go to college? I was 17, and I'd been over there. I was actually on holiday in New York, and the coach asked me to come over, just to like scrimmage with the guys. Cause you'd already seen my tapes anyway.
Yeah.
And New York to me is like an hour and a half plane ride or whatever. So I went over, played with the guys, did really well, and then he was like, "Yeah, we obviously want you to come in and point guard, your sport, run the team."
Yeah.
So I think I went summer when I was 17, and then it was like a week or so. So they picked the squad for the upcoming season, and then so he was handing out the jerseys, practice jerseys, all that kind of stuff. And I was the final one, and then he called me into the office. Yeah. And I was like, "This is strange." So I sat there, and he's like, "We want you to redshirt and come back next year." I was like, "Well, like I'm just turned 18, like I don't have that much time. Like you told me everything I wanted to hear.
Exactly,
to get me here. And obviously, I'm not one to toot my own horn, but I was lighting up your point guards through all the scrimmages, like so there was no questioning as to who should have been. I'm not. I don't have the right to come in and start. So obviously there was people there before me last year. I understand that, but when you're starting point guard, it was getting lit by some English dude.
Exactly, that you brought over.
Yeah, that you brought over. Like that should solidify my spot. So I was like, look, I don't have time to be coming back and forth and waiting a year. Like these years, I need to progress. So I remember calling my old AAU coach, and she was like, "Just have to see what I can do, see what I can speak to her." And then I ended up seeing it out the year, and then just came home. So I never actually got a chance to play a game. But for me, I did what I set out, was to go to college and get a decent education out of it, which is a bonus in itself.
Definitely.
Even though I never actually got to play a game, for me, if I never got anywhere with basketball after getting an education out of it, I was fine with that. Yeah. So I was never gonna make millions playing in the NBA. Like, it was facts. Yeah. So it was obviously spending from 5-6 years old playing through to 18, your whole life. Yeah, exactly. To build up to that one goal, for then to be shut down within 20 minutes.
It's a bit of a kick in the balls.
It's a mad one. Obviously, like. Being there, living there, it's not cheap. Like you got flights and you gotta live and
if you want to see
exactly. It's a massive expense. So, but it was good while it lasted the whole period. I haven't lost any love for the game. I still watch it on TV. I went through a period of hating basketball. After what happened, like I just would never watch a game. Didn't even want to play. People asking me to play. Guys like Rohan asking me, "Yo, come scrimmage," and I'm like, "I just don't want to play, bro. Like, I don't really not me anymore.
Yeah. Did you think so when obviously they redshirted you and they said that they want you to come back again and you wasn't really feeling it? Do you think that knocked your confidence and the love for basketball a little bit?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I mean, I knew in my ability that me going to that school was just to experience the college way of playing.
Mm.
I'd played 3 years in a row over the summer in America anyway, so I was already adapted to the way they play. It's way different to how we play over here. It didn't knock my ability to play because I was still confident.
Yeah.
But I lost a lot of love for the game. Like, it's how it is.
It's a shame, really, though, isn't it? Because obviously, if you've gone from 12 years old to 18 years old, just playing at a high level, it's not like he was playing like just for banter or just as a social thing to do with your friends. He was playing for keeps, for serious.
100%.
So,
yeah.
Like, I could only imagine that would be like heartbreaking at the time.
Yeah.
And like obviously having to come back and then knowing that you're of a set standard where you've been in America, you've shown off your skills and you've lit up the court over there, you've shown your skills, and then coming back here and then obviously no disrespect to any of the English players or anything like that, because obviously there's amazing English players as well, but it's leagues apart. Like American basketball and English basketball is completely different. Like, because obviously from what I've seen, I don't know myself because I've never been to America and played. It's always been a dream of mine to go to like Rucker Park and things like that and like do a pickup game over there. But like just from what I've seen, the levels, like their like fitness, strength and like jumping ability is just out of this world, isn't it?
That's what I mean. Like, I was always over here being like 5'6" or whatever. I was always 9 times out of 10 the most athletic player on the court when it came to speed and jumping. Exactly. When I went over there, I was like one of the least. I thought I was athletic, and you see guys over there who are my height and jump out the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
They made me look slow. Kids who was 15 and 6'8", huge. It's like who breeds this?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like
what are you eating over there?
It's but and the way they're brought up through the game and the way like their coach is a lot different. Like, if you're good, they're gonna get every ounce of potential out of you, so that you can be the best that you want to be, or that you can be. But yeah, it's different. I always said that like if I was to grow up in the States and go to high school and go through their system, the way I played suited the way they play. I'd have got a lot further, just because it's more for me the way I prefer to play. Over here it's very structured. It's quite slow in comparison.
And I think it's because, like, over here, because it's not, like, a primary sport, like, football's a primary sport in England, like, when you play, some of the coaches are not at the ability to take you to the next level and to train you at such a high standard. There's obviously people who love the sport and love the game, and obviously some of the coaches, like Hugh...
You've got, like, you had Paul Hartley, Ben Pickles, who was my coach. You had like Rob Sape, who was the coach of Tigers. You had loads of guys from Leeds.
You had the Mandela coaches. But yeah, like, because it's not a primary sport and people were more into football, you could actually get a job and get paid from it. Whereas in basketball, you wasn't really getting paid to a high standard for being a basketball coach, or like even getting the accolades or seen as anything important, because it's not our primary sport. That's why I think a lot of the English players don't get to the set standard that Americans have. But and again, the facilities out there, because it's a primary sport, it's just made for like excellence. Like, you can't not really go wrong if you're going into America.
100%. Like I've seen some gyms, like when we played in Florida, and there's like a complex next to Disney. The ESPN Wide World of Sports, and I'm like, I've seen courts on like the NBA and college, and you walk in and it's like a huge arena and there's like 5-6 courts, and it's like you feel like you're playing in the NBA, because the facilities are like head and shoulders above what we would have here, or like our local gym or whatever. Here, not a lot of them have actually played at a high standard. They've just learnt the game.
Exactly, or watched NBA.
There's only a handful of coaches over here that have actually played. Like Rob played in the BBL, Q went to America. Like, not a lot of them have been a decent, good basketball player and played at a high level. So, a coach's perspective to a player's perspective is a little bit different.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just because it comes to my head now, like another good coach from college, Boise Winters.
Yeah. Next
level. Like, he actually played in the NBA. He got drafted second round pick and stuff. He was different class. Like, I remember when he used to teach us in college, like, and when we was doing, the backing down drills, bro, he used to stand behind me. He's like, come on, back me down. And I'm trying, and these times I'm going gym, so I think I'm wedging that, and this guy's not moving. It's like doing it against a brick wall, and it's like, what the hell are you eating?
He's like about 6'8".
Exactly. And he was still balling like with us in the training sessions.
And that's, I mean, he was one of the coaches who, when I came back from college, he played like in Spain and like all over Europe. So he put me in contact with a lot of coaches in Europe where like you'd be paid to play because you'd be on a pro contract. But by then I was just like,
it's not something that I want to achieve like that, because my dream was America. And I don't really want to go for the second place. You know what I mean? Not
that it's not a good enough standard, because guys in Europe, they're making crazy money. It's a super high standard, but for me it was kind of just done.
You wanted to do it young. Be in America, progress through the ranks from there, and rather than getting a bit older, playing in Europe, maybe getting scouted, and then getting taken back over to America to do all pretty much the same thing you've already done.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
And I didn't want to be one of those guys who, like, people ask me now, come play local league. I'm not trying to be one of those guys who people see him playing, oh, he was good when he was younger. Why is he like playing like local league?
Exactly.
I'd rather just hang it up.
Exactly.
Did what I did, and just leave it there.
Exactly. And his name's come to my head, George, R.I.P. George.
Yeah, man.
And Norman, big Norman. He
just reminds me of Kevin Garnett.
Trust me, every day. Interesting. So, we'll go on to Footlocker now.
Okay.
Footlocker Live.
Striper days.
Exactly, the Striper days.
And then multis with the socks.
Oh my god, bro. You're lucky you didn't have Kevin as your manager. Shout out Kevin, he's in Australia.
Oh no, I went to...
Oh yeah, because he worked at Commercial Street, didn't he?
I first started I got a Christmas temp job at the new store in Huddersfield, and he was the manager there. Before it, that's
where he left Commercial Street to go to.
Yeah. So he was my manager for a little bit, and then he's cool, man.
Yeah,
Kev's cool. You know what I mean? And then when Trinity opened, I transferred to Trinity. And I did the odd shift at Commercial Street, but that was awful. The stock room and the dungeon downstairs.
Cold, boy. For those people who know about Commercial Street who work there, shout out Priya, Billy, Cads, Paul, all of them, man. There, we all know what it's like in that dungeon. Boy, terrible. Mad shit has gone down in there, by the way, but we'll keep that secret.
That's all over the topic.
But yeah, like Footlocker days, that brings back so many good memories. Like, I even remember when you, because there was a point when you were selling like high profile shoes, and like I remember when you sold me one of my first pair of Jordans. You sold me. Do you remember the cement freeze, the red ones? Like, was it? Not the cement ones. Yeah, the white ones.
I'm sure it was a pair of Jordan 11s, Concord 11s. Cause I remember meeting you outside the new shopping centre.
You did. There, you sold me the Jordan 11s because I've got that the Bape hoodie off you as well at the same time, and then the one with the spider on the back, the green one, if you remember that. BBC. I don't know if it was
That's
BBC.
Going back way,
That was donkeys years back. I think my sister's got that now. But yeah, I'll try to get a picture. But yeah, I remember it was like the threes, the white threes, the original ones, you know, the white ones and the red.
The white cement threes. Yeah.
I remember when you sold me them way back in the day. This is when I was working at Footlocker. And I was like, right, these are sick. And that's like one of the things that inspired me to go into that, because the first pair of Jordans that I got was the Space Jam 11s, and Kevin was the one who put me onto that stuff. There's these coming out, Space Jam 11s, and Space Jam's one of my favourite films of all time, so I was like, what? The Jordans I was wearing in there?
Yeah.
Ran down to the shop in the morning, because I was working that morning. He was like, go buy them now, innit? Ran down to the shop, bought my pair, went back up to work. Like, what got you into selling trainers?
I mean, growing up, obviously playing basketball, it's kind of a thing to have, like your Jordans and your Nikes or whatever. And I always knew I could like turn a profit on flipping shoes.
Yeah.
So that's what that was my first little side hustle. Being young was like being able to have access to Jordans and the new releases, sort of trainers, and being able to just flip them quick, and then obviously you build up a collection yourself, and obviously then working in Footlocker at Christmas when you get 50% off, you'd
50%.
You save up all your pairs for Christmas, and the public would get 30. We'd get 50, and then man, it's just like I love trains back in the day. Definitely. Now I'm not trying to pay the retail price. Yeah, it's crazy.
Never that. From you working Footlocker, you've experienced that 50 days and just having just the normal discount even. Like, you never go to buy a pair of trainers full price unless you're going to make a flip off of it. Because like even me now, I don't ever buy full price trainers. Not in my repertoire at all. Unless it's something that I'm going to make a flip off. So if I'm buying it off the Adidas store for the easy drops, or if I'm buying it off the Nike store for like SBs and things like that, I'll pay full price, but I know I'm going to make a bit of profit off them. The worst thing is I won't even wear them. I'll just buy them just to hold. And but explain your Footlocker days. What was it like working in Footlocker for you? Because when you started, I think I left. Well, I wasn't in Leeds when you started. I went to the Manchester shop with Alex, if you remember.
Oh, yeah.
He was in, and I was working with my boy Marcus and I forgot his name. Elliot. Sorry, Elliot. But yeah, I was working with those two in the one of the Manchester shops. That was. A dead shop store, I'm not gonna lie, but it was a good experience because they was good guys. But like what was it like for you?
I mean, I was being young, like for a birthday or at Christmas, like asking my parents or my grandma, I want to make sure this is there. So obviously you have to wait for your birthday or wait for Christmas or whatever. I used to always go in, and my eldest brother knew like Billy and Priya and them guys. So just from going in as young, I always thought, I love trainers. It'd be cool to work here. That was like my first proper job. And then when Trinity opened, it was mad because it was busy all the time. It was sick. Meet new people, and for me, like that was working a job like that, interacting with people all the time. It was kind of a confidence builder because growing up, I had a speech impediment, which you can kind of pick up on. Obviously depending on who I'm around, but so for me it was a case of being able to get out there, speak to new people, like, and I learned a lot growing up. Obviously working there and just learn how to be an adult and having your first job. Do you know what I mean? Most people's first job was like a paper round.
Exactly.
I was thrown in the deep end.
Yeah, exactly.
Paul and Canada, them lot.
They start off on weekends, whatnot, and it was just a sick experience. Shout out Dom and Remy as well. They when the beginning they was there as well. Like, bro, it was an amazing experience, really.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I remember, what film was it? It was a film with Bow Wow, Lottery Ticket.
Yeah.
And obviously he's working in Footlocker and the limited edition Air Force Ones, and it's like, I was like, this is sick. Like, I could be that. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And you pretty much was that.
I was just like the young kid, like the baby of the group. Do you know what I mean? So I was like Billy and Priya and whatnot. So I was the young kid. And I was just chucked to bed gallop.
Trust me. You know what pissed me off when I left? He was asking for shorts for years because back in the day,
baggy.
The what are they even called now? Cargo pants. We used to have to wear them in summer, sweating.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I left, they brought in shorts, and I was vexed.
Thing is, I see him nowadays wearing jeans, tech fleece, joggers, slim fit. Mine was like boot cuts. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Like, and they always used to
catch on the bottom of the floor.
It's horrible.
Man. And obviously I'm small, bro, and he's giving me like a medium. I'm like, you know how big these are? Like, I'm 5 foot nothing.
Trust me, never had sizes. But it was a decent job still. It was decent.
Sick experience, man. A little 6-month year stint where like I had no idea what I wanted to do. Like, I was in a bit of a funk. Like, I wasn't playing basketball. I wasn't really working, and then obviously still travelling to America, holidays, seeing family and whatnot. Like, obviously being young, like seeing my older brother and other people like wearing nice jewellery and like seeing your favourite rapper, you know, iced out. Like I was curious as to like, I wonder how this is made, like what goes into it, like what's it cost. So I was always intrigued from young, like about jewellery, and obviously you always aspire to have nice things and whatnot. And then I went on a holiday like 2 years ago to New York with my mum, just me and her, and I went down the New York City Diamond District, and it's probably like a mile long of just jewellery stores and just hustlers, like, and I'd never been down there, so I didn't really know what it was about. And it's like some of the stuff you see, like the watches, the diamonds, and the way people are hustling, doing deals, and people trying to drag you into the shop. Are you buying? Are you selling? Do you want to make something? Like I was like, this is what it's about. And then I met 2 jewellers out there, Avianne and Co. They do jewellery for like Blueface and Little Pump and all them lot. And I met another jeweller called Greg Uni. He's Floyd Mayweather's jeweller. Like, and you see the pieces they make, and it's like, I was like, this is crazy, like, and then it kind of sparked that flame for like, this is something I could bring over, like, and especially in Leeds, there's no way you can go to get a custom piece, to get a nice style chain, a grill, there's no one doing it. So I took a year to like learn the trade, because it's a game where you need a lot of knowledge, otherwise you're just gonna get like nowhere.
So like when you first started learning about the jewellery trade and becoming a jeweller yourself, like what type of things were you researching to build up your knowledge of that?
The first thing I started was like learning how, like, I started with more like gold stuff, like gold chains, gold pendants, learning how it's made, how the gold's refined, basically how everything's put together. And you, from being an outsider, you don't actually see how much goes into it until you learn and speak to other jewellers that obviously give you the knowledge of like how it's made and whether it's been diamond set and how each stone's hand set, not all done by a machine. Everything's done by hand, which is why custom jewellery is so expensive. As opposed to just something you can go buy in a normal shop. So and obviously learning about diamonds, quality of diamonds, because one of them things you have to know and be able to look at to make sure they are what they say they are. Otherwise, if you go buy diamonds from someone and he says they're this, you have no idea. It could be cute, it could be glass. Do you know what I mean? Like you have to know. So, and if you don't know, you can lose a lot of money. So it's just knowledge in this game. Knowledge is power.
So like so obviously now you've learned about like the different types of diamonds and things like that, which you obviously use in your day-to-day working environment. Like what is like the key things that you've brought in when you first started? What are the key like knowledgeable pieces that you've brought in and implied into your work?
In terms of like my pieces?
Yeah, like anything really. So like it could be from like the CAD work, CAD design, to like how you set the diamonds, anything like that. Like what is like the main aspects of your job? So like what things that from your research have you implied into like your day-to-day work?
So basically it's like being able to, if a piece, for example, something like the bracelet or the diamond pendant, we have to like, so you've got near enough like nearly 400 stones in that, so you have to be able to sit and go through each stone through a loop, colour match it, because if the stones and the colours don't match, it just doesn't look right. You want them all to be the same, all matching, cut the same size. Obviously some might vary, but you have to be able to sit and go through each one and make sure they're all what they are.
So with that process, sorry to cut you off, with that process, how long would that usually take in terms of like, so say with that when you said it's got like over 400 diamonds in it, like how long did that take to match each single diamond? And
I mean, when I obviously get them from, when I buy my diamonds, I let them know, look, I need this many and whatnot, and then they give me a parcel, and then for my own peace of mind, I would then sit and go through it. It can take up to a couple of hours, 2 hours, 3 hours to sit and go through each one. It's a lot, and they're only small, so you got to look through one loop and like a glorified magnifying glass to go through it. But it can take time, and you have to sit and focus on each one. So it takes a lot of time. You can't just sift through it quickly.
Exactly.
You've got to make sure everything's perfect. That's what the customer is paying for.
Exactly. It makes sense. So like, in terms of like going on to the CAD design and things like that, like I know a little bit about CAD because I did DT in college and stuff, and that's the stuff that we used. Like I used it to build a speaker, obviously you use it to build gold and put your gold pieces together. Do you want to explain to like the people who don't know what CAD design is, what it is, and what process that you take with it?
So basically CAD is computer aided design. Basically what the CAD enables us to do is it's able to give us a 3D render of the piece. Certain jewellery softwares through CAD will give you like if it's yellow gold, 18 karat, it'll give you the outcome, what it'll weigh, how many diamonds will go into it. So we can judge from doing the CAD design what a piece will cost at the end, because it gives us the weight, the diamond weight, and obviously from CAD we then 3D print a wax mold that gives us the exact size, and we can see obviously how many stones are going to go in if it's diamond set. If not, it'll just be plain. But CAD's able to give us an exact price, exact amount, weight of how much everything will be. Because sometimes people just ask you how much is this, and I have a rough idea.
But you don't want to give them.
I don't want to give them I can't give you an exact price just because.
If it's wrong.
If it's wrong, I might be losing or it might be over. But obviously CAD gives us that exact.
Right. Okay. So when you use so how much would, because obviously CAD is the software on the computer. Like in terms of that, how much does the CAD software actually cost when you pay, or do you buy like the CAD software and the 3D printer together?
So basically, me personally, I don't do the CAD myself. I have a designer who specialises in jewellery CAD. He's unbelievable.
You want to shout him out?
It's kind of a
secrets.
Secrets in the trade. So
makes sense. Makes sense.
It's so like they obviously have the design on their computers, and they obviously own all the 3D printers. But it's like a CAD design the design cost varies on the complexity of the piece. If it's like a plain cross or a Star of David, or not loads. But when it comes to pieces that are like diamond set or layers or like two-tone, the price obviously varies on the complexity and size of the piece, really.
Fair enough. So like, in terms of like your journey so far, what is the biggest CAD design that you've had to do yourself so far?
Biggest CAD, I'd probably say the biggest CAD I've done is my new piece I'm currently working on right now.
Right, you don't want to get no gems.
Not finished yet, but it's. I mean, other people have done stuff similar, but with the way we're doing it, and it's for the north.
Yeah, it's what sets you guys apart from every other jeweller from London and all about the UK.
Obviously, you have like your Chifa, your A Jewellers as well. They're killing it. Obviously, hats off to them. They're smashing it.
Shout out Chifa and A Jewellers.
I'm trying to bring something to Leeds that no one's doing. Especially in the north. I don't think there's a couple places, but in terms of like customs, I'm trying to with this new piece set the bar.
Okay, I like that. Bringing Leeds up, my guy. But yeah, because that's the thing. That's one of the main reasons I wanted to get you on the podcast. Not only because obviously I know you and we've got kind of a relationship like that, but because of the fact of you're doing something completely out of the norm from what anybody else I know is doing. Like I don't know anybody who's like a jeweler in Leeds that are doing like their own little thing. And to say that you're doing custom pieces as well, which is another bar up from everybody else, it's just setting yourself apart, which is another thing, which is amazing.
Like I'm always trying to I'm gonna do it properly. Like I aspire to do these pieces that you see on like all these rappers next, like all these crazy pieces. But obviously you have to start.
Start
at the bottom. Work your way. Like my first piece I ever made was just like was just a small like T&J. It was nothing like what we're doing now, and this is in the space of like 2 years. You gotta think where we're gonna be in 2 years from now,
Exactly.
2 years after that. I'm trying to
be
be acting everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Young hands and them. Forget Jewellery is gonna be coming to Trey The Jeweller. Nah, but that's sick. Like the progression that you've made. Like from I've known you. Like obviously you've gone from basketball, Footlocker, gym, jewellery. It's just exponential.
We're still banging gym though.
Yeah, I mean, bro, I can tell. I'm just sitting here like, damn, I should have went to the gym a couple times before I came here. So, like, you started it 2 years ago. The jewelry gym.
Yeah.
So, in like, when you first started, what was like the major humps, or like knockbacks, or like brick walls, shall we say, that you had to face when coming up in the game?
I mean, with the jewelry as a business, it's very, like, if you're not known or have not been in the game for years, no one's gonna kind of bring you in and like help you learn the trade. That's why, obviously, one of the reasons why I went to New York was to kind of just pick all these guys who are the biggest in the world, ask them questions. Like, there's no harm in going and asking. If they say no,
exactly.
it's fine.
It's networking at the end of the day.
So, when I spoke to one of the guys in New York, he like answered a lot of my questions of what I wanted to know, to kind of just help me get my foot in the door. And then a really good friend of mine, who I class as a business partner, he's another jeweler in Hatton Garden, called Brandon Sales. He owns a company called Pavilion & Co. He was like, look, if you want to do it, like, I can help you. Like, and he's kind of the main person that helped me get my foot in the door to be able to create all this stuff. So obviously shout out to him, man.
Shout out Brandon.
We all need a helping, hand at the end of the day. Do you know what I mean?
It like, in terms of like, especially in this game, it's very selfish, because obviously you've got to think, if I'm helping this guy and then he's now created a better piece than I have, and now he's got a better catalogue of work than I do, then that takes away from my business. So to say that you've built up a network with people in Hatton Garden, New York and places like that, that's very good. Like, and in life, your net worth is based on your network. So obviously this is why you can see the growth that you're making, because you're networking with certain people who are in bigger positions, in positions where you want to be when it comes to this.
Yeah,
so 100%. Like, networking, I'm all for that, 150%.
And like the jewelry game, like you get a lot of guys who like badmouth other jewelers and my respect, and it's like, I'm not that
type of person.
kind of person. Like, I can appreciate everyone's work. Like, it's sick. Do you know what I mean? Like, exactly. It's just healthy competition.
Exactly. Sharing is caring.
Yeah, exactly. Day, obviously, like you have guys who will go to him, come to me, go to the next guy. You can't be butthurt over someone not coming to you. It's like, I've progressed a lot in this first 2 years. If someone buys a piece from me then goes elsewhere, it's fine. Because you have to know that obviously down the line there's going to be this.
Eventually they may come back to you, or not even that they may come back. They might just say, I didn't buy the piece, but he's sick. I recommend you go to him for your piece.
That's what I'm saying. Plus there's plenty of money out there for
everyone. Exactly. These days especially, like, kids have got dough. I see kids rolling around in all these type of mad designers that I wouldn't even blink an eyelid of buying, because it's like, for me, obviously, because I know the value of money and what you should do with your money and where you should place your money. Buying designer clothes is not one of them things. If you can, like what Trey's doing, find an investment and go for it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you can afford it, go for it. But if you're walking around in a pair of £800 Louboutins and you got £20 in your bank account, that's all. You know what I mean? That's all kind of messed up. It's just stunting for the gram. Basically. Like.
Exactly. And would you say, like, in terms of like the social media game and jewelry and stuff, do you think, like, because obviously it must have an effect on, like, obviously jewelers as a whole, like obviously the market for like fake Rolexes and fake jewels and stuff. Like, how does that affect your work in terms of things like that?
I mean, I've had a few people like bring watches to me and obviously they've been fake and whatnot, or like they told me like a piece of diamond set and it's cubes of coroners or it's moisture nice or whatever. It's happened more so like in your bigger cities, like your London, Hatton Garden, Jewellery Quarter, Birmingham, where there's stuff passing through every day.
Yeah, so they think they can get away.
Yeah. Whereas obviously in Leeds it's a lot quieter. We have more time to sit and go through everything. But I mean, it can happen to anyone.
Exactly.
But if you're walking around fit rolling on and you're showing off like it's real, then obviously
it's a bit mad.
It's all mad. But as I say, like it can happen to anyone if you're not knowledgeable, especially when like if you're buying a Rolex or an AP, you want to know what you're looking for. You're spending a lot of money. There's no point in going in blind and to some guy you don't really know, like not a reputable brand. If you're not going to go to Rolex directly, you want to trust the source you're buying from.
100%.
At the end of the day, it's a lot of money on the line.
So, what was your first investment piece? When you first started the game 2 years ago, what was the piece that you invested in, or the first piece that you had, which was like your starting point?
First piece, probably my first ever pendant I made, which was just a T and a J. So only small, and then I'd have like other pieces of jewellery, like a plain gold chain or bracelet, and then when I started the page and people saw me wearing it, and then it was obviously like my branding, that kind of, I had to basically make pieces for myself to show how good the work was, to build up that, to build up that, because it's like when people are spending that money, they want to be comfortable with who they're spending it with, and they want to know the work's good at the end of the day. So like with stuff like this, or like the grills, the bracelets, like we want to show that work is clean, just as good as anyone else's. I can match it, do you know what I mean? So it's a case of like I made pieces for myself to show what we can do, and then the more people started coming to me, I had friends buy from me, and then put the word out, obviously supporting, and then it kind of just spiraled from there, and then that social media helps.
What was your first watch that you invested in?
First watch I had was a Cartier Santos. Back in the day.
What colour?
It was stainless steel. And it was diamond set. It was. Back then it was like that was sick. That was the piece to have back then.
Exactly.
And then I was like, I wanted to upgrade, so you came to selling it and you turned a profit. I was like, okay, so buy another one, buy a Rolex, and then sell it again, turn another profit. So I'm like, something could
happen.
That can happen. Like every time I'm selling a watch, like I'm turning a profit. Not realizing that there was a massive market for it, and then obviously growing up being around my eldest brother who was always into watches, always sold watches on the side. I'm like we could do something with this. Do you know what I mean? You know a lot of people. I'm learning more about the customs. You know where to get the watches from. I'm thinking like we could do something with this, which is obviously then when we came together to really actually turn it into something rather than just doing it like a side hustle. But then with watches nowadays, like this watch 2-3 years ago was like $7,000.
I know. And you know the best thing about that watch here, and like the Rolex Hulk, one of my friends bought it when it was $7,000, and he sold it when it went up to about 9.5, and then every time he looks now and he sees it at 12.5, 13.5, 14 for some of them, it's like he's just slaps and it just stress for him, because obviously at the time he didn't know that it was gonna grow, and it was like there was a set period when they jumped from like the $9,000 up to the 11s, and then it just grew slowly and steadily from there.
That's what I mean. Like you never know what's gonna happen. Like you never know if what's gonna be if it's gonna be discontinued. Like this beginning of January there was a price increase for Rolex, so like the Hulks now are like 30.5, $30,000.
Exactly.
From what a couple of years ago used to be $7-8 grand.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if you can get on a retail, more power to you. You're winning.
But the waiting list for them years.
That waiting list stuff is all bullshit. Like it's a case of how much have you spent with that authorized dealer? What business can you bring me in the future?
So I'm not just gonna give
yeah.
you one of these pieces that
Yeah.
are gonna exponentially grow in price, and then you're just gonna buy the one piece and not see you ever again.
Like the person who spent $100,000 that year with that Rolex dealer, they get the call first. Or if they like you.
Yeah, definitely.
It's one of them kind of things. So the waiting list for me, it's all kind of bogus.
Yeah. Fair enough. At least you cleared that up for the fans.
Yeah, like so if you go into an AD and they're telling you, yeah, we can get you one in 18 months, but you have to buy this watch as well as the money you're going to lose on that, you might as well have paid a little bit more anyway, because you were going to lose it.
Yeah,
so it just depends how bad you want to watch. If you want to wait a year, 2 years, fine.
Yeah, and then it comes back to like some of the stuff we were saying in Sanchez's interview, like people don't know how much you care until you show them. So if you was to, let's say, for example, go into that Rolex watch like every month and say, yo, have you got the watch? Have you got the watch? They're going to see that this guy really wants this watch, and if he's coming back every single month to inquire about it, the chances are he's going to come back when the new Rolex comes out or the next major piece comes out. He's going to come back here and come and cop.
And it's exactly, and obviously it's like if they take care of you, you're gonna go back again.
Exactly.
You won't want to go anywhere else. Like that's why I pride myself on when my customers come to me, they have the best experience. They get shown from like a hand-drawn design to CAD to this. They're brought through every step of the process. Right. So they feel like they're a part of it.
See,
as well as
that again is something sick, because you're showing them that you care about what they think, and you're bringing them into the process, which makes it a lot more personalized for them, which is again something that you specialize in. That's what I mean. Like, obviously they want us, like, I want them to see like how it works, like from obviously CAD to the wax to when you get it in its raw gold form. You start setting all the diamonds and everything else. Like, I want them to see that the service they're paying for. And to see that obviously how it's going to turn out at the end. And the 9 times out of 10 they're over the moon. So like in terms of you and obviously your clientele and stuff, like what was the biggest, I don't want to say the biggest profit, because obviously you don't want to divulge that type of information, but what was the biggest piece that you've sold so far, would you say? Was it a watch? Was it a diamond? Not diamond, was it like a ring? Or?
I mean, from I can think of, we sold 2 pieces. We did a bespoke tennis chain, which is just the diamonds. Graduated, and that was about 80-something thousand. And then we sold a Patek that was fully diamond set.
What's that?
They run for around like 60-70. But they were like 2 of the biggest pieces.
Which Patek was it?
It was the 5711.
The big boy.
White diamond.
Big boy type.
I was scared to even like hold it.
That's what I mean.
Like, this all this.
That's
like
I mean? A mortgage. That's a house.
Exactly.
Because obviously I'm not a jeweler, but I like watches and I like obviously jewelry myself, and I try to keep up to date with all like the latest models and things like that. Would you say, like, in terms of like the refurbing the Rolexes and stuff, what is your idea on that? Do you think that takes away from the value of them, or?
No, I mean obviously if you're diamond setting a watch, that is then for like an acquired customer. It's not everyone's gonna want to buy a bust down.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you're buying something like this, I recommend either of these, keep it plain. Your money's safer that way. Because you're gonna lose money on the labour and whatnot. But when it comes to like refurbing your watch, if you want, if it's scratched, like certain people will only take it to Rolex. But then they're gonna charge you £1,000 for a service. Whereas there's a lot of amazing watchmakers out there, or guys who can refurb your watch brand new. They can check everything, and it's just as good. Like same thing with like a factory set diamond set Rolex. It might be $100,000. You can buy the same watch and have it set by a really good diamond setter, and it'd be $50,000. And it looks exactly the same. You're just paying a massive premium to have it done through there.
See. So, you know, like, one question I had, especially with like the diamond set Rolexes, once you set the diamonds in the Rolexes and you take them out, are they able to go back to how they normally was, or is it done?
Yeah, so basically, like, if you see on, like, these kind of pieces here, they drill into it. They drill into the watch. So once you drill in, you can't go back.
Yeah, exactly, because it's not like they could just fill it.
Yeah, you can't fill it, So once you drill into it, you can't go back.
Right.
So, for me, if you're going to diamond set a watch, I recommend it be one of the watches you keep.
Yeah, and you definitely want it to be
diamond and you
set.
want it to be how it is, or want it to be set the way you're having it done. I mean, you can sell it, you might be able to turn a profit on it, but if it's something like that, it has to be current to what people want.
Exactly.
There's certain diamond set watches that people want, some that people don't want. So you wouldn't, like this for example, the rainbow is really acquired taste.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something
everyone's
gonna want. So you have to be willing to just sit and wait for the right buyer. But there's certain watches you can diamond set that you have no issues.
Yeah.
selling.
So like normally like the Datejust and things.
Yeah,
like that,
just the day dates are they're super
Because if
popular.
anything, if you was to bust down like a Datejust or something, wouldn't that increase the value of a Datejust, or would you say it takes away from the value at the same time, or is it go back to?
It's slightly increased
Yeah.
the value, obviously, because you get in a little bit more for
The book. Yeah.
what you're paying for.
Mm-hmm.
Like a standard Datejust, it's a nice watch, but for me, I like to jazz it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I like to, have a little bit of ice on there, but
Mhm.
it all depends on the person.
Yeah.
Are they flashy like that? Do they want
Exactly.
diamonds?
Yeah.
Do they just want it plain? I mean, you can get like, for example, you could just get like a plain white gold bezel for that and take it back to how it would look originally. So you don't have to drill into the bezel that was on that originally. You can buy another one, so you can have both.
Yeah.
You can have best of both, so you can get different dials if you want to change. So you can change it up how you want, so you don't have to drill into that set watch. You can buy a bezel and have it done aftermarket, so that you can have it back to its original if you ever want to sell it. And then obviously you can sell the bezel and keep it for another watch.
Yeah. So for the people who don't know what aftermarket means, what does that mean?
So aftermarket is when it's not done by the brand.
Yeah.
So you have your factory set, which is done by Rolex, done by AP, and then you have your aftermarket, which is done by another jeweller, as like me or a jeweller, whatever. But there's that many good diamond setters out there who can do it. It's just as good.
Yeah.
But like some of the premiums you're paying on a factory set watch are just ridiculous.
Yeah.
For me, my eyes, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
Because if you have that money to spend on because they do a day presidential with a factory diamond bezel, and it's like 20k more when you could get that watch and have it done for a lot less than that, and it would look exactly the same. But it's a big premium.
Definitely. So like, in terms of like, for the people out there who are looking to either invest in jewellery or watches, what would you say is like your top tips for aspiring investors or aspiring jewellers out there? What would you say your top tips are for them?
The main thing, I mean, some people like to buy gold, some people like to buy diamonds, some people like to buy watches. Find what you're most interested in and do your research. The price of gold changes every day.
Yeah. Especially now, with what's happening in Iran and
that's
things like that.
That's what I'm saying.
Gold
whereas
prices are shot up.
a few months ago, gold was at the highest it's ever been, and obviously prices were going up. Everything cost them raw more because of the price of gold. Diamonds, it's one of them. If you're gonna invest in diamonds, you want to be able to invest a lot of money, because there's no point buying smalls because you don't really.
No one's really gonna buy a
Yeah. People are gonna want to buy like a big rock, right? With your put on your right finger. Do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
that kind of thing. People buy like gold bars. Money's always safe in gold,
definitely.
regardless. With gold, it's a case of you won't turn a huge profit, but over time it's a gradual increase. And then it's a case of like, I know guys who've bought a gold bar, but then wanted to make it into a chain, so they can enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then and they can melt it down back to a bar. They can sell the chain. So there's a lot you can do with gold as opposed to diamonds.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With a watch, same thing. You can wear it. You have to know obviously what you're buying. Just be up to date with what the watch market is at that time. Yeah. Is there something new coming out? Is there word something's going to be discontinued? See what are like the popular watches.
Right.
And obviously, if you have the money, go for it.
Right. Cool. So knowledge, research, and stay up to date with recent trends.
Yeah.
Top 3 tips there for Trey.
For me personally.
Alright.
That's it.
Yeah. That's it. So like, going on to obviously the more custom pieces. Like I'm looking at this bangle here with the baguettes, and I'm thinking, that's more my type of style. Yeah. We'll show the camera. Like this right here is something special. Like how did you go about making something like this? And I'll show you guys a little close up in a second of that. But like in terms of like making a bangle like that with the baguettes, and for people who don't know what baguettes are, what are baguettes? Baguettes
are basically there's lots of different shapes of diamonds. Baguettes are like the square diamonds, like the rectangle shaped diamonds. And they shine a lot different to your rounds. It looks more like water than that sparkle.
Yeah.
But the issue with baguettes and diamonds like that is, with a round diamond, it's set in like 4 claws.
Yeah.
Whereas with a baguette, it's like, how can I explain it? They would map out the holes of where it's gonna go, and they're just set by pressure.
Right.
So if one pops out, you have to take them all out and redo the whole thing. Whereas with a round diamond, you can just reset one.
Yeah.
But because they're all like pressed up against each other, that's what's holding them in.
Right.
So if one flies out, you have to redo the whole thing. That's why with these fully bust down APs that are baguettes, like they look great, but if one comes out, it's a lot of problems.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's it's a lot more expensive to have something like that set than like a round diamond or like an emerald, something like that. But they look cool. Like I like them. It's a new trend.
Yeah, definitely.
Everyone's trying to be on that water look.
Yeah.
Spaghetti. And all that. Everyone's on that hype, but it's for me. I like round diamonds.
Yeah.
The shine is
different.
It glistens. Dances. So that's what I prefer.
Nice.
Like I obviously use a diamond tester, test it, and it shows whether it's a moissanite, real diamond. And then I'll go through obviously if it's like a gold piece that's not hallmarked. There's like an acid test I can do that shows up if it's shows up if it's real gold or not. If it's a watch, for example, you take the back off, look at the movement to check it. And there's been times when like it's been a noticeable fake. Like I had someone bring me in a Hulk and the green was way off. It was like it wasn't smooth, it was ticking. Do you know what I mean? So and then when you obviously show them like look through the loop, look at this, and some people just don't want to believe it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're made out to be the bad guy.
And
so
you're
it's
trying
like,
to help them.
Or like I've said, look, take this letter back from me to whoever the jeweler you bought it from,
and then get your refund done. Go from there.
Take it up with them.
So like, can you take people to court and things for things like that?
You can if you wanna obviously go down that route. It's not unheard of.
Yeah.
Obviously, people buying like fake watches and obviously going through that process to get the money back, especially if you have receipts and whatnot. So obviously, at the end of the day, if you spend 20k on a Rolex, it's fake. Of course, and obviously, that's them kind of people who do that are just looking for a quick raise.
Yeah, exactly.
Quick buck, do you know what I mean? But I've had people bring me to fake stuff before, and 9 times out of 10, they understand and they're cool with it, but you get the odd one or two who are
trying to amp up.
Yeah.
Like, go on silly about it.
I've got this and I've got this, and it's like, well, I'm just
Is that real?
Yeah, I'm just telling you've come to me and asked me for my opinion.
Exactly.
I'm just giving you my opinion.
To me, I'm not gonna give you my money for
Yeah.
something that's not what it says on the
Yeah.
tin.
Oh, that's not like what can I do with gold plating? I can't do
Yeah.
with it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then in the end, they're all right.
Yeah, they get it at
Yeah,
the same
they
time.
understand.
Because they're not gonna just go up and try to do something
Yeah.
mad. Because obviously it's just not.
At the end of the day, like if they have gone into a jeweller's and bought something that isn't what was said, I'd be annoyed as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you've been sold a dream.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, you get some people who know it's fake and they're just trying to
Yeah, exactly.
pull
And
a
then they're
fast
like,
one.
fair
Yeah.
enough, you got me.
Yeah.
Interesting. In terms of what you want to achieve from this, what is it that you want to achieve from this? Where do you see yourself in like the next 5 years?
For me, in the next 5 years, I want to be like, this is like a bold statement, but in the next 5 years, I want to be up there with like the A Jewellers, the Vault, all them guys. I want to be making these pieces for your footballers, your rappers, like, and I want to bring something to Leeds, like I said before, like that you just can't get. You can't go anywhere in Leeds and get anything that we bring to the table, and it's something different. Like no one's done it, and just to show that like you can actually do anything you want to do if you can put your mind to it.
Yeah.
Like me being a under 6 foot kid going to America playing basketball, that's something no one ever expected, and then obviously being a young black kid, like our culture, we wear a lot of jewellery, but you don't see a lot of guys who make it. Like 9 times out of 10 you don't go to a jeweller and they be black. Do you know what I mean? So it's another thing. Like I've had a lot of kids, young kids from like Leeds, obviously mixed race black kids, like ask me like how can they
jump into this line of work?
Jump into it, and it's like something they might have never have thought. But at the end of the day, like it's like you see a lot of it day to day in music videos, on your footballers, your celebrities. Like to say you made a piece for that person who went on TV, like that's a sick feeling. Or like if I do an engagement ring and I see the post or whatever, and she said yes, and she's like gassed over it. Like
how does that feel for you? So like you've made, let's say, a custom piece, like an engagement ring. She said yes. How, in terms of like you and obviously because it's your work, how does that make you feel?
For me, it's like you're just like grinning ear to ear. Like it's you go through the process of like worrying, like is she gonna like it? Is it exactly, because obviously you only think to propose once. In your lifetime.
You don't ever expect to get turned down.
To try
exactly. Yeah.
So like, and then, because that's a big moment in someone's life, and to say that you played a part in making that day or that event as special as it is, like that's a sick feeling. Do you know what I mean? Like it's hard to do. You kind of have to experience it to see how it feels for them to then come back and be like, the ring is amazing, like I'm so happy with it, exactly what she wanted. And then obviously she gets gas and shows all the girls, and
oh my God!
And then all the man them are all pressure.
Pressure. Definitely.
But,
so plug talk now. Plug yourself. Where can the people find you? Where can the people find you? Tell us.
So my Instagram is at I am Trey Jewellery. The TJ comes from the middle name. If you know Jewellery, the RB group back in the day. That's I'm named after. So it's at I am Trey Jewellery on Instagram. I mainly just use Instagram. I don't really use Facebook much, but everything's on the gram. If you wanna DM me, if you wanna info on something.
Get up the guy, man. He's, as you said, use your knowledge, innit? Knowledge is power. He's got the knowledge. If you want to learn more,
any questions, man, just let me know. Like I'm one of them guys who's like, not gonna tell you just to be that guy. If you want to know what's a good investment, if I want to buy gold, how much should I buy? When should I buy? What's a good price? Like I'm here to educate as well as obviously bring you
Yeah,
all this kind of
what
stuff.
you need, isn't it?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'll have to ask you out soon as well.
Hey, I'm coming. Give me a couple more thousand followers and subscribers, and I'll be able to do that. Definitely.
So what are you on now, followers wise?
Followers wise, on Insta we're touching 400, 5 or 400 now. YouTube we're kind of far off the 1,000 subscribers. We're at 62 and climbing. It's getting there slowly but surely. But the way I take it into perspective is like, if I was doing 3-minute videos and stuff like that, it may be a bit different because people are going to sit down and watch the full thing.
Yeah.
I obviously know that an hour video, 45 minutes, some people don't have time, and some people don't watch podcasts. But as I said, the response that I'm getting from you guys is amazing. I love you guys. Keep posting, sharing, liking, subscribing as you always do, and keep enjoying the content. But yeah,
so we'll do like when we're gonna do a giveaway.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm doing mine as well, and then we're gonna do it as well.
Okay.
So
there you go, people.
You
the Tings and Trey The Jeweller.
If you want to, we can do a grill. We can do.
You set the levels, innit? Where do I need to get to for us to do something?
Get to 1,000 followers on the gram,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll do a giveaway. Whether it's courtesy of TJ The Jeweller,
right,
it's
so
a grill or whatever you want to get.
Exactly.
We're gonna kill.
Alright, cool. Hey, that's my motivation. I'm going to jump on it, and there's your motivation, guys. If you want to be part of this giveaway, if you want us to help give away stuff to you guys, let's get to 1,000 followers. Let's make it happen. I know you got it in you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Sweet, sweet, sweet. My guys.
Yeah, man,
TJ The Jeweller. Gang. Just before we go, in fact, last little thing. Because obviously, there's obviously going to be people flying in your DMs from watching this. But in terms of like the people that may not have, just may be in their comfort zone, they're not really the type of person to go out their way and ask, what are, in terms of watches and stuff, what are the top 5 investment pieces that you would say for a new beginner in the watch market to go for?
With watches, it kind of varies on your budget, what you're able to spend. So what's the best investment you can get for that money? If I'm gonna say anything, it's your steel Rolex sports models.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get hold of them, that's what I would go for.
Mm-hmm.
Your money's safe.
Mm-hmm.
You no questions.
Okay, so in terms of a sport model, is that more the seat that?
So you've got Submariner, your GMTs, some Datejust like your Wimbledons, climbing, climbing, anything like that. Sea Dwellers are okay.
They're more.
It's
certain market for those.
It's just a bigger version for me. It's just a bigger version of a Sub. But yeah, your Rolex still. Oh, if you can get, they do a full steel blue dial Sky Dweller. That's just like rocking horse shit. You can't get it. If you can get it, you get the money to buy it. Yeah, you win it. Pick it up.
Boom. There you go. My guy.
Man.
Thank you for your time, brother. I know
anytime.
you're a busy guy,
Anytime,
but yo, this has been a good talk.
Time. You gotta support the cause, Leeds. You know what I mean, man? You gotta
Exactly. Support each other. As I keep saying on all of my posts, sharing is caring, people. And people don't know how much you care until you show them. So this is what we're out here to do on the podcast. I'm out here to showcase the talent that Leeds has got, and anywhere in the world. Because hopefully I get to go to America this year. I got some people that I've been talking to over there. But yeah, for now we're doing local. My guy's local. I've known him for a long time. We get him out there, do what we can in it. That's what we're about. So yeah, man. Talk the Tings, episode 5. Trey The Jeweller. Get to know if you don't know. Hey, now you know.